interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I make my Instapot beef, or in this case hamburger stroganoff. So let's get started. I've got the hamburger in the pot. You need to turn the Instant Pot on to saute. And in this case, this is an 8-quart Instant Pot. So now I will fry up the hamburger and drain the grease when it's done. So I'll be right back. I spoke too soon. I want to add pepper to my hamburger. I don't do a whole lot for measuring. I just add what I think is about right. Something like that will work for me. And I will show you my handy dandy tool I use for chopping up my ground beef. This thing is a lifesaver. It makes it so much faster. As you tamp down on it, turn the handle around so you're not giving it the same, I don't know. This will come off of this as I fry it up more. So we wait for it to fry. And while I'm waiting for this to get up to temp, I like to add onions. Well, I'm being lazy right now, so I'm using dried minced onions. And that's okay. You don't have to use them. You can use fresh minced if you like. And I just put what I think is the right amount. I like onions. I have no problem with that amount. In fact, it smells quite good. But if you notice, I did not add salt. There's a reason for that, and I will tell you that in a moment. So let's get this thing fried up and drained. And we finally got some saute action going here, and I'm going to do a little trick my mom taught me. When doing ground beef, add a little bit of water. That creates steam. This will be fine. We'll chop this up a little more and mix it up a little bit better. Don't want anything to burn. That's not good on your Instant Pot. I don't have burn notices. I never have, actually. I've gotten lucky. Whoops, sorry about the jigging of the camera. I'm trying to do everything in one hand. Now, while it's cooking, I'm going to set the lid on, but not sealed it. All that does is help cook it faster. And by the way, this is just a cover on my Instant Pot because I like Star Wars and R2-D2. But it is just a plain Instant Pot IP Lux 8-quart. Alright, I just had the lid on a little bit. Never set the lid on a glass top stove right side up, because the heat, from what I've heard, can cause these to crack and collapse. You don't want that. Anyhow, back to this. You can see how fast that's cooked up. Oops, a little steam. But you can see how fast that has cooked up since I added the water. That's good. I'll give it another couple minutes and it should all be cooked. Be right back. Okay, it's done cooking and I turned off the saute function of the Instant Pot. Now it's time to sop up what little grease there is. I prefer to use pretty lean ground beef if I can get it affordably. So I do this a little bit unorthodox. I use a paper towel, wad it up, and tongs. And you see there's not that much grease there, but it's not necessary to have in my food. I am not a fan of grease. I need it to cook. I don't need it to eat. I don't need it inside of me. And I always leave a little bit. You're bound to, but get the majority out. This has been sitting at an angle for a little bit. I cheated. I put a spoon under it to tilt it. Alright, so that is that. Now time to add more goodies. Okay, what I have here is 2 cups of boiled water that I boiled in the microwave. I have a can of cream of chicken soup and a can of cream of mushroom soup. I know it's a bit unorthodox, but this is how I like it. I also have some Bullion. This stuff's amazing. And my Worcestershire sauce. I hope I pronounced that right. Worcestershire? Worcestershire. Something like that. So first, since I got my water and it's nice and hot, I'm going to add some bouillon. I usually add between 1 and 2 teaspoons. That's why I don't add salt. Because this stuff is salty enough. I'm not a fan of salt. So let me get this scooped up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I got just about 2 teaspoons of the beef bouillon. I'm going to add it to the boiling water and stir it until dissolved. And once that's dissolved, I like to add both soups to stir in here as well. This is a 4-cup measuring cup. And I like to have everything mixed up so when I dump it on the meat, I don't have to worry about it so much. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add some pre-made meatballs, frozen meatballs. And the reason being is, well, that's the way I like it. Like I said, this is how I make it. I'm sure others out there will be like, oh God, how can you do that? Well, because I've made this many times before, and this is how I enjoy it. Alright, that looks pretty well mixed. Let me dump the cans of cream soup in there and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to stir this up and get it mixed up pretty good before I add it to meat. And this is just the beef bouillon and 2 cans of cream soup. One is cream of mushroom, the other is cream of chicken. It's not going to dissolve perfectly right now, and that's okay. I just want to get it mixed the best I can before I dump it. And while I'm doing this, I need to get my Worcestershire sauce added. Sorry about the jiggling of the camera. I wish I was an octopus. And I just do a couple dashes of it. I mean, it really doesn't need that much. And again, stir it up. And I could whisk it and maybe mix it a little bit better, but why? It'll mix plenty good when I dump it in the Instant Pot. And while we're here, here's the ground beef with the grease drained. And now I gotta get my meatballs out of the freezer. And here they are. And I just dump them in. No need to do anything more than that. And now, dump in your egg noodles. Now something you're gonna wanna do, and you should not do, and that's stir everything up right now. Big no. Now you take and dump your liquid, your soup and all that in here. When you're cooking with an Instant Pot, you need at least 1 cup of water. Otherwise, you will get a burn notice and it will not cook properly. So now, everything, almost, is added. So what we're going to do is, try and do this one-handed, put the lid on. When you put the lid on, make sure you have the vent open. Turn it, lock it, and set it. Now it is locked to the closed position. I cooked this for 15 minutes on manual. It's going to take a minute to start, and that's fine. Sorry about the shaking. This is my first time making a video. And now we wait for it to come up to pressure and turn on. So I'll be right back. And we're back. We got 1 minute left. The little red indicator is still up. That shows that we have pressure. Leave it on low. And stir it all up, because now is the time to stir it. But I gotta wait until after it releases. This will be called the quick release. There, now it went on low. And we will turn this. Keep your hands out of there. Now we're releasing the steam. And this can take a few minutes. So I will come back when it's done. Okay, now 2 minutes on the low setting. After letting the steam out on quick release, the indicator is down. So now we can open our lid and let the moisture drain in the pot, because that's alright, that don't hurt nothing. Remember, do not set your lid on your glass top stove, because it could damage it. Now, this is when you get to stir everything. Some of the noodles may not be done, and that's okay. That's why you're stirring it. So, let's go back, get this all stirred up. And there's something else we're going to add to this. Uh-oh, looks like I got a little bit stuck in the bottom, but that's okay. No burn notice. And you'll be fine. Okay. Now, we need to add some sour cream. This is a, what is it here? 16 ounce. I like to add about 8 ounces. So I'm going to set you down for a moment and add my sour cream. Be right back. There, I added about half of that container, which would be about 8 ounces of sour cream. And I have my last ingredient, and that's some chopped chives for a little flavor and for a garnish. Because who doesn't like chives? And now you can stir this all up. And I like to put it back in, put the lid back on and let it sit for another 5-10 minutes or so, because while this cooked, the noodles were on top, and that's because the steam cooked the noodles. Okay, well, some noodles might not be quite done, and you want them done. So put the lid back on, excuse my noise, and let the steam and the heat actually cook those noodles one more time and finish it off. They will finish off. I give it about 5 minutes and then it's ready to serve. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. It's actually been a few more than 5 minutes. It's been 7, but that's okay. Take the lid off. Make sure you drain any water out. And now we're going to plate it. So I'm going to do this one-handed. I know this is done from past experience. Oh man, that looks good. There we go. Now, you don't have to add meatballs to this. You can if you want. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want with this, but here you go. This is my meatball and hamburger stroganoff. It smells delicious too, by the way. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed my video.